Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to a YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, here we are for another AFL 2022 season review. And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the grand final winners, the premiership winners of 2022, the Geelong Cats 2022 AFL season review. Now in today's video, of course, same things as usual, but they are the premiers and they are currently on a 16-game winning streak. They got a lot more stuff going on in the trade period, and of course, a club legend, Joel Selwood, has retired as Isaac Smith goes on to claim the Norm Smith medal. What a season it was by Geelong, and since that loss to the Saints back earlier in the year, they've been on a brilliant winning streak, and this has been a brilliant season for them. So let's go ahead and see what's in today's video. So, of course, going to be recapping the season and the ladder position, highlights, best win, good players, lowlights, worst loss, what's next, trade period and coach. Now, trade period is a big thing, and the next chapter is they are an ageing team as well, the Geelong Cats, and recap and final words. So the Geelong Cats are on a 16-game winning streak, and they had two other wins as well outside that 16-game current winning streak, and 4 losses for the 2022 AFL home and away season. After round 23, they had 18 wins, 4 losses, 72 points, 144.2%, and that was the highest of anyone in the competition, and they outscored the Demons in points by 8 points, so they did get a clear minor premiership as well. And based on the order of elimination as well, they were the grand final winners, so they were also first in the order of elimination too. So, of course, this club was also, of course, going to taste glory in this set. Well, of course, club was going to taste glory because they have an aging list, and they've had a very good list for a long time, and they have come so close in so many seasons. And this season was definitely the one to remember, and a 16-game winning streak going into next year is something truly special as well. Now, they started off the season really well. They smashed the Bombers by 66 points to open up a really good start of the season. Round 2, of course, we do all remember that as the famous Buddy Franklin goal. An inaccurate Cats side could have potentially cost them the game. Round 3, they make one of the comebacks of the season against a choking Collingwood side to win by 13, being down by as much as 37 points, and Jeremy Cameron's 6 goals helps them to win the game. Cameron and Hawkins, the duo, was so tough to beat as well, and then they do taste decent victory down at Kardinia Park, beating the Lions by 10 points in another thriller. And then they lose to the Hawks by 12 points. The Hawks did put up some really good fights against some really good sides over the season, and the Cats being one of their biggest scalps of the season. Cats disappointing to lose that game though. And then they go on to beat North Melbourne. They smash them by 60 points at Blunston Arena. And then another upset of the season against Geelong as well. They lose to the Dockers by 3 points at Kardinia Park. That was when the Dockers were going through some of their best form they have ever been in one of their best seasons in a little while as well. So that was a really good performance by the Dockers, and the Cats, they got a little bit too far behind in it at some stages. Before then, they comfortably got over the Giants at Marnacrover by 53 points, putting all their class on display there. And then a disappointing loss to the Saints by 10 points at Marvel. That moment showed the Saints were the real deal before a late season slump with a tough run home ended up saying no. And then that was the last loss the Cats had tasted back on Saturday, May 14th, 2022 at 4:35 p.m, which the game would have ended at about 7:15 p.m. That was their last loss of the season, and from here it was just all wins. Some of them were tighter than others, but from here it was all green ticks. Brilliant wins for the Cats. They comfortably got over both the Crows and the Power at Kardinia Park. Cats beat the Power by 35 and the Crows by 42 in some very dominant displays down there. And then got over the Doggies by 13 points on a Friday night. In one of the scares of the season, they did overcome a very feisty Eagles side by 18 points. And then in one of the thrillers of the season in round 15, in a very interesting matchup with the Tigers, they win by 3 points. Thanks to hero Jack Henry, who wins the game for them with just dying minutes to go. Then they smash North Melbourne in one of the biggest wins of the season by 112 points down at GMHBA. Another game at GMHBA, they beat the Demons by 28 points to show they are the real deal and stake their claim for the premiership. And then they overcome Carlton by 30 points on a Saturday night. Saturday afternoon at the Adelaide Oval, they get over a very, very rampant Port Adelaide side to win by just 12 points in another absolute thriller. 2 more home games in a row at GMHBA Stadium. They overcome top 8 contenders, the Western Bulldogs, by 28 points and St Kilda by 45 points. Before then, 2 very dominant last rounds. They smashed the Suns by 60 points and then they smashed the Eagles by 85, heading into finals to show they are the real deal on a 13-game winning streak into finals, which is some sort of form. And then they win another one of the best games of footy, one of the best finals footy game you'll ever see. The Cats win by 6 points due to Max Holmes winning the game for the Cats. And then they go through straight to the preliminary final. So they go straight through. They don't have to play semi. They go straight through to the preliminary final against a very decent Brisbane side after breaking their MCG hoodoo the week before to Melbourne. But no, the Cats just way too good. And then they go in. They smash Lions by 71, go in clear favourites into the grand final, and then beat up the Swans by 81 points to win the premiership. Isaac Smith takes home the Norm Smith medal, and the Geelong Cats taste victory after being so close in a few past years. And then, of course, that will see legend and hero of the club, Joel Selwood, retire on a very high note. So the Geelong Cats win the 2022 AFL Premiership season. So now, of course, the big question is what's next. They are an ageing list, but have some really good fresh blood coming in. Sam De Koning was one of the real standouts throughout the season. He was one of the players to feature high in the Rising Star. Obviously, Nick Dacos won it. Brilliant season Nick Dacos had. But Sam De Koning not too far behind. Defenders are underrated, and I reckon Sam De Koning, he'll win a best and fairest, at least in Geelong. He'll make the All-Australian side. And I reckon he's going to be an absolute gun in the future. What he's already showed at such a young age is really good. And the Cats have a lot of really good talent, especially the Geelong Falcons products. Tanner Bruin came home to the Geelong Cats for pick 18 in the draft. In the trade period. That is massive for the Cats. Some more young talent coming in. Pick number 7 and Jack Bowes are also going to be coming through the door. A trade has not been arranged for that just yet, but it will be very soon. So you've got to take on Jack Bowes' salary, and then the sweetener, the reward for taking that on is pick number 7, which the Cats are really interested in, both Jack Bowes and pick number 7. And pick number 7 should be used to draft Jai Clark, another Geelong Falcons product, which the Cats would absolutely love to have in their group. Now, though, they are still working on another deal to get Oliver Henry from the Collingwood Footy Club back home. He is another Geelong Falcons product, and pick 25 has been rejected. That is not going to be a good enough deal, say Collingwood. So they're going to have to give up a little bit more. Are they going to have to try and manoeuvre in another pick swap? They're not going to deal with pick 7 because that is Jai Clark's pick. Jai Clark expected to fall right around that range. So that's the plan there for the Cats. So how are they going to get this Oliver Henry deal done? Well, will it get done is the first question. That is the main first question. Will it get done? Not sure about that deal now, because if pick 25 has been knocked back, Collingwood are going to look for something in the first round. Of course, they use 18 on Tanner Bruin, so interesting stuff there. And of course, the Cats, their whole list this year was very good, but Oliver Henry wants to go back home to Geelong to play with his brother Jack Henry, of course, in the back line for the Geelong Cats. So now, just want to talk about one more thing before we wrap this up. Of course, the premiership winning side throughout the season, and their two spearheads and one absolute pickup, one of the pickups of the season by delisted free agency. Jeremy Cameron and Tom Hawkins are some massive, big, brilliant forwards for the Geelong Cats. They are really good, led their attack this year really well, got some brilliant scores on the board for Geelong, and they are just so dangerous. And the whole team is really dangerous. They're so experienced and they know what to do. Yes, they may be older and the oldest list in the competition, but they know what to do. And the Cats are looking like they're in an okay direction right now by bringing in Geelong Falcons products who are still very young and up and coming, which is very good to see. Because, one of the problems for the Cats was getting too old, but now they're bringing in some of this younger product, Tanner Bruin, Sam De Koning. They've got players in the wings ready to go. That is interesting. Now, one more thing that I do want to go over, Tyson Stengel also brilliant pick-up delisted for agency. Why did they delist Quinton Narkle? Their midfield is old, getting old. Dangerfield, Selwood, well, he's retired. Smith, Duncan. I'm quite surprised by the decision to axe off the list Quinton Narkle. There probably won't be, I reckon there probably will be a suitor. But interesting choice, seeing that he's actually a decent player and they might need him in future. But again, though, maybe not. I'm not a Geelong expert. They might not need him, but who knows? They might. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.